You're not.
Pause, Miss Chin. Pause it.
You can't see yourself.
No, man. I didn't see you, man.
You know, look like I dog.
Yes, man, brother.
You just change his clothes.
Him, man.
Welcome to Crime Time News and Entertainment with a Buzz. The edited version of the video that you just saw is of an incident that took place in a place called Christiana. So apparently, the young man that you saw with the hammer, obviously because of YouTube's policy, I cannot show you the whole thing. Violation. There was a video before this one. In that video, I don't know what this man did. However, there was Mr. Chin and a couple of his employees, some big stick strapped in men, look like some sorts of security. They held this man, them pull him out of the store, them fling him down on the ground, and Mr. CHIN was over him. And they pretty much disgraced this man. So it seems as if this man decides, you think I saw it, I go. He then left, went home, and came back with some sorts of all-time hammer. People put it upon Mr. Chin. If Mr. CHIN is lucky, you will have to name him Mr. CHIN Grace because it is going to be amazing. If him spine is still in working order based on the job that this man did on Mr. CHIN. Now, people, here's the thing and something that I've realized when it comes to our Jamaican people. There's numerous videos circulating all over social media where Miss and Mrs. CHIN send people up under their mother and tell them all sorts of despicable things. And you would probably say to yourself, if you're somebody like me, then hold on a minute. If the average Jamaican, this a man, or just tell him something petty, him will get joke up, them will go home for them toll and come back and take him away. But we've seen numerous videos in which the people from the infrastructure wholesale place diss up all sorts of Jamaican, but them just laugh. They will take the disrespect when it coming from foreigner or whenever it is coming from people with money, as in our politician. But make the normal average Joe or Jane do them something and you see exactly what transpired. People, I am not saying that it is justified for anybody to rush anybody with any sorts of utensil and clot them up and cause all sorts of damages or even DEATH. But me just say, isn't it strange? It seems as if one particular individual decides, on a thing say it go so and came back for some sorts of reprisal. Disclaimer again. Not saying that any sorts of action that includes violence is justified, but me just say, we should not be surprised that this has been going on for a very long time. So therefore, somebody sooner or later is going to retaliate. Point blank and period. So the next thing that is popping in the news, it seems as if Lucky is not DEAD or Lucky is not in the big yard. And I am speaking about a video that has been making its round all over social media, in which a young man was seen sitting on some sorts of chair, and he was surrounded by several men with all sorts of tools. However, it seems as if this was this man's lucky day, because even though these people held him at gunpoint, could not move, freeze him up, it seems as if the tools stick. And this man had the chance and opportunity to take for himself. Take a listen, take a look, and then I'm going to give my piece. Now, people, like I said, the theme of this video is that Lucky him not gone and Lucky not gone to prison. You saw exactly what transpired, be it black and white video in a 2024. But you saw where these people circle this man. Them left for some sort of reason for a split second, came back, decided, say, you know what? We are going to take out this youth, but it seems as if the tool was not cooperating, the tool stick. Now, people, I don't know if you watch any of those old-time mobster or gangster movie, that is the reason why they always use some sorts of barrel tool whenever they are going on any sorts of hit. Because those tools never usually stick. As it pertains to the automatic or the matic or the semi-automatic, anything can stick them. So that is why we have to wonder whenever we see the poor hold people and say them seize all sorts of tool and the tool look rusty. We really have to wonder, is that tool even usable or serviceable, people? This youth should consider himself very, very lucky. Whichever side of the pillow that he slept on the night before, maybe he might want to sleep back on it before he gets permanent sleeping, point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called, there used to be a song called, Me Never Know Say Country People So Nice. But people, it seems as if all of that have turned 180 degrees. These country people, they are now chopping the line. These country people are now associated with gang activity since the chopping money came into play. Such is the case of an incident that took place in a place called Cudjoe Hill, Point Hill, that is in rural St. Catherine, in which artist Christopher Martin's grandmother was having her wake. Well, she was not having it. There was a wake for the grandmother. There was about 150 people gathered right there enjoying themselves, sipping on scissor, eat jerk chicken, jerk pork, rete, lele. However, it seems as if there's an outstanding internal and even external gang feud going on in the era between some people that are fighting over the proceeds of choppings that were not shared up equally. It is said that a man was either in attendance or either on the spot or close by, and two of his ops saw him, decided that they were going to run him down and GUN him down. It is said that Imtekwa himself ran straight into the crowd of the people that were there to farewell the final send-off or the wake for this person's grandmother. He ran into the crowd, them run him down. Imtekwa himself, them blaze up all sorts of corn after him. I heard in excess of 20 or so. It is said that throughout this melee confusion, people are run chuck, dive in the bushes, run through cane piece, run up the hill, run through the valley, everything to get away. 7 people get caught up. It is said that the individual that they went for after blazing up after this man in the crowd of about 150 people trying to disperse for their life and safety and security. They then went down the road, same road, maybe about a couple of meters, and blaze up one individual. It is said that that one individual who was supposed to be the target, his name is O'Neil Spencer. He is said to be a farmer. Well, formerly a farmer that is farming full, doing all sorts of criminal activity. That man did not make it. He was said to be the target. During an interview with one of your credible news sources, journalists, when the Popo asked them, what is the history of this man and why was this man so important to be taken out at somebody's wake? Them say, listen, this man was on our radar for a very long time. However, him start to kind of cool out. He realized the heat was on him. So therefore, it's either him take for himself or him start to do the right thing like Spike Lee. Now, people, here's the thing. Like I said, based on the Popo, based on your justice minister, based on your security minister, they have come to the conclusion that all of this is because of some sorts of gang feud. More than likely, internal people have fight for turf, people have fight for money that was not shared up properly. As a matter of fact, this might have been a reprisal for an incident that took place in a Marchpen Road in which one individual was taken out. Them take off him head and put him body in a some sorts of barrel. It is said that his brother was also one of those persons that was conned up again. So people, these country people, them change. Things are not like it used to be. Things have changed drastically for the worse. So when we hear say Christopher Martin grandmother's wake get caught up, we should not be surprised. It is not as if these people were going to say, hold on a minute, see the enemy there. But we can't pipe him up because of Christopher Martin granny wake. These people don't even think about that. These people do not give a F-U-C-K. It does not matter what time, where, which spot, how, and whatever. These people don't respect their own mother, father, granny, or anybody that is family. So do you think that they give a F-U-C-K if it was Chris Martin's grandmother wake? It no matter which part, where, how, when, however. Anybody forget it, I go get it on spot. Now here's the sad and good thing about situations like these. Based on what the Popo is saying, there were actually 2 individuals that were responsible for these people getting caught up and 1 individual losing his life. One of those 2 are now presently in the custody of the Popo. So people like me tell you, my granny used to always tell me, if you can't hide, don't thief. She wasn't recommending that I thief. She just had tell me, say, don't do not foolish-ish for end up DEAD or end up in a prison. The same way in which these youths go and them so trigger happy and them so fully done, not thinking about the fact that they would get caught or even get caught and taken out. Them still go do the deed and then end up have to pay fees. Because based on the information like I tell you, one of those persons is now in custody in the Popo station. So same way them go take out people, or the same way the Popo go and take them out of their house. It is only a sad thing that the Popo did not take them out and make it less miserable for us. Be the judge, the jury, and the executioner upon spot. Meaning give them some sorts of FATAL justice. Fatally arrested. Point blank and period. Now, continuing on the theme of if you can't hide, do not thief. If you are a gang member and cannot remain stealth, it makes absolutely no sorts of sense. You're only baiting up yourself, putting your life and the life of others in harm's way. There's a place that is called Rosetown of Maxfield Avenue in which there's been a flare-up of violence in which at least 2 women lost their life back to back. So the Popo, the JCF, launched all sorts of special operation looking for men that are said to be gang members that are the key players in this flare-up in the era. It is said that they put out a post and they say, may I look for 9 people, 2 bad, 2 mad, 2 wicked, 2 evil. Those were not exactly the names, but these names were known to the Popo. We want you to turn in yourself on X date at X time. People, it is said that at least 5 of the 9 names that they put out immediately found themselves in the Popo station. 5 one time. Out of those 5, 1 was released. The other 4 were held for questioning. The main person that they wanted is the gang leader in that era. His name is Guan Bad. He is presently in the custody of the Popo. So people, the Popo put out 10 names, and out of the 10, within 24 hours, 5 of them find themselves in the Popo station, in the custody of the Popo. Based on what the Popo said, they did some sorts of special operation. Well, people, here is the truth. Just in the case as it pertains to Cherry Tree Lane that is in Clarendon, wherein they said they wanted 3 persons. 1 of them get arrested within days. 1 of them got arrested within 24 hours. And 1 of them turning themselves in the presence of his lawyer or some sort of church person. So it tells you that these persons did not need to be found in any sort of special operation. Because these persons were not hiding. These persons are always walking up and down in a plain view. Everybody in every garrison community know who are the gang members, know who do this, do that. It is a mix-up community, so therefore anything, especially negativity that happens, it is going to spread like wildfire. So therefore, these young men that the Popo claim that they went on some sorts of special operation for, they were not really hard to find because they were never hiding. Because the truth and the fact is that, like I said, most of these youths are repeat offender. It's either them buck the system because them take with the witness run out of town, or even they are tipped by some of these same popo that are looking for them. So in other words, they've been always there. They've been hiding in a plain view. So it is only simple that whenever the popo want them, most of them are being released by your stupid judges out there on condition of bail. That means that them are report to the Popo station 3 times a week. The Popo have their address. So therefore, it is not as if them have to launch some sorts of island-wide manhunt for these people. These people is always at the same place that they've always been, doing the same thing. It is only the fact that the popo, they are incompetent and negligent, and the people in the era don't give a F-U-C-K, because most of the time they are either family members or beneficiaries of the crime. So therefore, everybody is mute. Everybody's not saying anything until, of course, it reaches their doorstep, which it usually does, or do, whichever one. Point blank and period. Now the next thing that is popping in the news, it is called, this is what happens when you have a government that does not look out for its citizens, its residents, and allow companies such as the JPS, Jamaica Public Service, to come into the country and have a monopoly. When they have the monopoly in which there is no sorts of competition, that means that they can do just about anything that they can do. And even if you don't want their service, you have no other option, unless, of course, you are going to go solar, which is very expensive. 99.99% of Jamaicans won't be able to afford that. So therefore, this monopoly now becomes some sorts of dictatorship. Now, this very disturbing fact is becoming more apparent after the passage of Hurricane Beryl, in which a whole bunch of people lose them lights, out of service, some people still out of service. However, them realize them a get all sorts of messages that your bill went up at least 10% higher. Your bill jumped from 15,000 to 30,000, 45,000, 90,000, even though the days in which you have access is half that time. So therefore, you're paying 2 to 3 times more for half the service that you usually get. And people are saying, how come like the commercial? And what is even worse, we are finding out that the chief financial officer, whose name is Vernon Douglas, did not advise his board of directors, did not advise the relevant authority, as in the OUR, that these drastic hikes in electricity bill is going to be coming down the pipeline immediately, soon and very soon. Now, people, here's the thing, and this is based on some sorts of finding by the Energy Minister, Mr. Darrell Vaz. Based on what JPS is saying, whenever the hurricane was coming, they decide that they are not going to use a cheaper natural gas energy. They are going to go to a more expensive fuel. So therefore, that is what added 34% onto the bill, meaning just fuel bill on most persons' bill. However, the facts are these. Based on what they are learning, the JPS claim that they use this fuel, the more expensive fuel, at 4 of its facilities. However, after doing its audit, they realized that the hike that was once 4% average should have gone up to 6%, so therefore 2 more percent based on the usage of the more expensive gas. However, JPS claims that that hike was 34%, so therefore again, monopoly, dictatorship, criminal activity. So therefore, they are telling everybody that, listen, this is estimated bill because of the hurricane. We could not go out and do some sorts of physical reading of your meters. So therefore, your bill jumped from 13,000 to 66,000, whatever the case is. No sorts of justification. So when they realize that the utilities and the energy minister is doing some sorts of audit, them start to back the book, them start to retract all of these bills. So all of these persons that were paying this astronomical hike in them bills, it is said that JPS has now retracted those bills. And even the people that got disconnected unlawfully, unjustifiably so, their lights has to be reconnected until September 15th. So therefore, there's a seizure between August 15th to September 15th until JPS can sort out their crooked ways. Now, people like me say, you have the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR. These people are supposed to be the people that are making sure that these utility companies do not rob, R-A-P-E, and sodomize people like they are doing. But people like me say, it seems as if somebody in a government, somebody in a relevant authority are getting their pockets lined. So the point is this, no matter how much complaints, how much cry, how much hollering the people are doing and saying that life is very expensive, utility bills are taking us away, it is as if it falls on some sorts of deaf ears, because the people that are supposed to be the regulators are the people that are the exploiters and the facilitators of the FUCKRY, because they are getting bribed. And what is even more disturbing, when we hear the government of Jamaica come out and have said that they are so appalled, the truth and the fact is that the government of Jamaica is also part owner, be it minor part ownership. They know exactly what is going on. They are supposed to be on the board of the directors, but people like you see, it seems as if the head does not know what the foot is doing, and the head of this corporation, meaning JPS, they are a set of exploiters, crooks and criminals. And until the government decides, you know, that we are going to hold these people to book, we are going to lock up some of these people, we are going to put on some sorts of big fines, people, it is not happening. And that is why these people keep doing the same thing. And like I've always said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So therefore, until there is competition for JPS, they are not going to change, because they know that people are not going to have any sorts of options. Unless, of course, you start to audit them and realize that they've been stealing from the country, stealing from the people of Jamaica for a very long time, decades, and people have been complaining, and it is now just coming to light, point blank and period. So anyways, people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like these, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please subscribe to my next channel. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. I'll be pinning the link to that channel in the description of this video. Bless up.